All right, everybody, let's jump right in to a deep dive you are not going to want to miss. We are tackling the book Everything You Know About Marketing is Wrong by John North today. I don't know about you, but when I see a title that bold, it makes me wonder. What do you think? Is this just a catchy hook, or is North really onto something here?
Well, it's definitely attention-grabbing. And look, a healthy dose of skepticism is always a good thing in marketing, but John North isn't some marketing newbie. This guy's got over 25 years of experience under his belt. So when he says everything we think we know about marketing is wrong, well, it makes you want to hear him out.
Okay, so this guy's not messing around, but let's get down to it. What's the core of his argument? Why does North think marketing is so broken these days?
Basically, he argues that the marketing world is stuck in the past. And it makes sense if you think about it. Consumers are bombarded with messages constantly. We've become masters at just tuning things out, especially when it's the same old, tired, generic stuff.
Right. It's like those radio ads for dentists we've all heard a million times,
Yeah.
Gentle touch, state-of-the-art care, blah, blah, blah. Don't get me wrong. Those things are important, but it's kind of what you expect from a dentist these days. It's not exactly something that makes you want to pick up the phone and make an appointment.
And that's exactly North's point. He says businesses are too focused on what he calls this inside reality, meaning what they think makes them great. But they're not translating that into something that the outside, meaning their potential customers, actually care about.
So it's not enough to just be great. You got to nail that message if you want to actually connect with people.
100%. It's like trying to explain some complex scientific concept, but only using highly technical jargon. Unless your audience is full of scientists, they're going to be totally lost.
Okay, I'm starting to see what North's getting at here. But how do we fix it? How do we break through all that noise and actually resonate with people who are so good at ignoring marketing messages these days?
Well, that's where things get really interesting. North introduces what he calls the conversion equation, a 4-step framework for transforming your marketing.
Conversion equation?
Uh-huh.
Okay, that sounds kind of intriguing. But I'll be honest, it also sounds a little bit intimidating. Like, is this something I'm going to need a chalkboard and like a movie montage to understand?
No, I promise you it's not that complicated, and it actually goes back to what we were just talking about. You know how good people are at just completely tuning out messages these days? Well, North's conversion equation is all about getting past those mental filters and actually breaking through. He breaks it down into 4 key steps. Interrupt, engage, educate, and offer.
Okay, I'm already feeling a little less intimidated. So it's like a step-by-step process for not just getting noticed, but actually converting that attention into real action. I like it. So let's break this down, starting with interrupt. How do we actually cut through all that clutter and noise out there without resorting to, those cheesy, gimmicky tactics that we're all trying to get away from?
Well, North talks about using what he calls activators. These are basically things that kind of snap our brains out of autopilot and make us pay attention. It could be something unusual, something unexpected, or even something that triggers a sense of urgency or curiosity.
That FedEx logo example he uses in the book is perfect for this. I mean, I've seen that logo literally thousands of times.
Yeah.
But I never noticed the hidden arrow in it. Like, my brain just completely decided to ignore it until somebody pointed it out.
Exactly. And that hidden arrow is a perfect example of an activator. It's unexpected, so it grabs your attention even if it's super subtle. And North says that our brains are actually wired to notice those kinds of things. Because, from an evolutionary standpoint, they could have meant the difference between safety and danger.
Wow, that makes a lot of sense. So our brains are basically like constantly scanning for anything out of the ordinary just in case it might be important for survival.
Exactly. So that interrupt step is all about finding those subtle ways to really stand out from the crowd, but then we need to engage them, and that's where hot buttons come in.
Hot buttons? Okay, interesting. Tell me more about those.
So think of hot buttons as those things that really, really matter to your ideal customer. What are their pain points? What are their aspirations? What are the things that keep them up at night? By tapping into those deep-seated emotions and needs, you can create a connection that goes way beyond, just surface-level interest.
Okay, so it's about speaking directly to their needs and their desires, not just shouting about how great you are in your business. This is seriously making me rethink my entire approach to marketing.
Yeah, it's a real game changer. And once you've grabbed their attention and tapped into what they really care about, that's when you need to educate them.
Educate. So is this the part where we provide real tangible value? Because it's not just about flashy sales pitches anymore, right?
Exactly. This is where you get to showcase your expertise and position yourself as the go-to solution for their specific problem. Think about it like this. If you've got a leaky faucet at your house, you don't just want to hear about some plumber's years of experience and their fancy tools. You want to know that they can actually fix your leaky faucet.
Right. You want to see those testimonials, those before and after photos, maybe even some case studies that prove they can handle situations just like yours. You need to know that they understand your problem and have the solution.
Absolutely. And once you've educated them on how you can help, then you have to offer them a clear and compelling call to action. This is where you seal the deal and move them from prospect to customer.
Okay, this is all starting to make sense now, but let's talk about actually putting this into practice. How do we actually use the conversion equation to, improve our marketing?
Well, that's the great thing about North's approach. He doesn't just stop at the theory, he gets into the nitty-gritty details. He gives you really specific tactics that you can use at every single stage of that equation.
Perfect, because I'm all about taking action. So where should we start?
Well, remember how important that initial interrupt step is. North says that having a killer elevator pitch is absolutely crucial.
The dreaded elevator pitch.
Yeah.
I get it, though. You've really got to hook people fast. So no more rambling on and on about, all the things your business does right.
Exactly. Think of it this way. You've got about 30 seconds to convince someone why they should actually care. No jargon, no fluff, just a super clear and concise statement of the problem you solve and the value that you bring.
It's like that real estate agent example he gives. Instead of that generic, I sell houses line.
Yeah.
She's like, I help frustrated homeowners get top dollar for their homes, even in a tough market. Way more compelling.
You got it.
Now that's a pitch that makes you want to know more.
Exactly. And once you've hooked them with that pitch, your website needs to be ready to reel them in, especially your landing pages.
Oh, yeah, landing pages. Those are different from just like a regular homepage on your website, right?
Big time. Your homepage is kind of like the front door of your business. It welcomes everyone in. But a landing page is laser focused on a very specific offer. It's designed from the ground up to convert visitors into actual leads.
Okay, so if my elevator pitch is all about, helping those frustrated homeowners, then my landing page should really be all about that specific problem that they're facing. Showcasing those testimonials or the case studies and having a super clear call to action.
You nailed it. And the best part is North actually provides a landing page template right there in the book. It's got those hot button headlines and everything you need. Takes all the guesswork out of it.
Love that.
Yeah.
All right, what about video? I've heard that's becoming super important for marketing these days.
Absolutely. Video is so powerful because it engages us on a much deeper level. It allows you to build trust and rapport way faster than text ever could.
It's like that example North shares about the self-hypnosis practitioner. Initially, people were like, self-hypnosis, really? They were totally skeptical.
Yeah.
But then they saw a video demonstration of it actually working. And boom, suddenly it clicked.
Exactly. Seeing is believing, right? And video allows potential customers to experience your expertise almost firsthand. And, hey, don't discount the power of good old-fashioned email marketing either.
Wait, really? I thought email was dead.
Not even close. Email is still one of the most effective ways to nurture relationships and actually guide people towards a sale. And, of course, North gives you a step-by-step formula for crafting emails that actually convert. And it all ties back into that conversion equation we were talking about.
Wow. Okay. I'm really starting to see how all these pieces work together now.
Yeah.
It's not just about one magic tactic or anything.
Yeah.
It's about having a cohesive strategy.
Exactly.
And don't forget about those little extras that can make a big difference too.
Yeah.
Things like upselling and cross-selling.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like when you're at the checkout counter and they're like, do you want fries with that?
Yes, exactly. It's a classic example of how a simple offer can significantly increase the value of the sale. And then there's the often overlooked potential of re-engaging past customers. It's always easier to sell to someone who already knows and trusts you.
That's so true. Well, we've covered a ton of ground today, but I feel like I have a much clearer understanding of how to approach marketing in a way that actually moves the needle.
Yeah.
And gets results.
That's what North's book is all about. Challenging those outdated assumptions and giving you a framework for success in this crazy, noisy world of marketing.
So there's one big takeaway from today's deep dive. It's that marketing doesn't have to be a guessing game. By understanding North's conversion equation and using his super practical advice, you can create a marketing strategy that truly connects with your ideal customers. So if you're ready to ditch those tired old tactics and start seeing some real results, John North's Everything You Know About Marketing is Wrong is a must read. Until next time, keep those marketing minds sharp, and we'll see you on the next deep dive